to the world.
Island. A CIA undercover agent exposes Diddy and...
Girl, you won't believe what the FBI found on Diddy's private island. We're talking secret. Rooms that'd make James Bond jealous and hidden cameras that caught more drama than a Real Housewives reunion. The streets are saying Diddy's paradise is shadier than a palm tree at high noon. What if I told you everything you thought you knew about celebrity getaways was a big fat lie? Buckle up, cause this tea is piping hot.
The wall begins.
Girl, let me tell you about this so-called Paradise Island. You think it's all palm trees and fancy drinks? Think again. This place ain't what it seems, and the FBI just blew the lid off the whole thing. Picture this, a tropical getaway where the rich and famous go to escape. Sounds nice, right? Crystal clear water, white sand beaches, and all the privacy money can buy. That's what Diddy was selling anyway. But the reality, it's messier than a toddler with finger paint. The FBI didn't just show up for a beach day, honey. They came in hot, and what they found, it's enough to make your hair stand on end. We're talking secret rooms that ain't on no floor. Planned, hidden spots tucked away in every corner of that island. The kind of places where you could do anything and nobody would know, or so they thought. And get this, they say there's cameras in places you wouldn't believe, like nowhere safe, from prying eyes, bedrooms, bathrooms, even out by the pool. It's like Big Brother, but mate, it rich and scandalous. The streets are saying these cameras caught all kinds of mess, things that'd make even the most hardcore tabloid writers blush.
Another developing story as Sean P. Diddy Combs, another lawsuit being filed against him. This coming after the federal indictment in the recent weeks as he faces a lawsuit of more than 100 people and allegations of sexual abuse and sexual assault. The Texas-based attorney Tony Busby making this announcement earlier on today.
Now, I'm hearing whispers about wild parties that'd make your grandma faint. We're talking the kind of stuff that'd get you kicked out of Vegas, if you know what I mean. But that's just the start, cause where there's smoke, there's fire, and this island's burning up with secrets. You know how they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? Well, on this island, what happens gets recorded, and some of those recordings, they're hotter than asphalt in August. A list celebs doing things that'd tank their careers faster than you can say cancel. Culture, politicians making deals that ain't exactly legal, and don't even get me started on the billionaires. Turns out, this island's got more secrets than a teenager's phone, and the FBI, they're just getting started. They're digging through everything like it's Black Friday at the mall. Every rock turn, every closet open, every secret room exposed. And with each new discovery, the picture gets clearer and darker. But if you think that's bad, wait till you hear what else they found. Cause this island, it ain't just about parties and privacy. No, it's looking more and more like a whole operation. The kind that's got people in high places sweating bullets. And trust me, we're just scratching the surface of this mess.
What is involved in these allegations and what details can you share?
Hey there, Andy. Yeah, Houston attorney Tony Busby says 3,285 people have reached out to him claiming to be victims of Sean P. Diddy Combs. And he says after some vetting, he is now representing 120 of those people who will bring civil lawsuits against P. Diddy. That's 60 males and 60 females, including 25 children. And I will warn you, some of these accusations are pretty disturbing.
Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old. Most of these events and incidents occurred at parties, although several of these events occurred at auditions. Some of this behavior occurred at private residences of people that we all know. You should know that more than 55% of the victims reported this conduct to either the authorities, that is the police, or made the victim perform oral sex upon him.
It was not your fault. You were victimized by a group of powerful people that operated for 30 plus years.
The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs.
Now, according to Busby, several of the 120 people that he's representing have now spoken with the FBI. They are from 25 different states. Most are from California and New York, which is where Busby says these alleged attacks occurred. He also says that most of the victims tell him that they were given some sort of a drink, and it turns out that drink was drugged. They say they woke up with severe damage to certain private areas of their bodies, and they couldn't remember anything. But of course, Andy, Sean P. Diddy Combs is maintaining he did not sexually abuse anyone.
All right, some disturbing details, like you mentioned, a 9-year-old potentially involved in this dating back to 1991. Dominique, I do have to ask you, were there any victims there? Did they speak out at this press conference at all?
You know, actually, there were not any victims there, and I probably should have pointed that out. There were several people standing there with the attorney, Tony Busby, and they were victims advocates, and they were also, you know, some were attorneys, but there were not any victims there at the news conference.
All right, still very emotional, traumatic events, and these allegations very, very serious. Dominique, thank you so much for your time and your great reporting here on Live Now from Fox. Thank you so much. All right, let's continue on. Of course, we were listening into that press conference earlier on today as over 100 people coming forward with this lawsuit. The Texas-based attorney making this announcement earlier on today. Let's take you out to these remarks a little bit in full and listen into what transpired earlier today. And of course, we want to reiterate that viewer discretion is advised, as some of these details are very difficult to hear. Let's listen in.
Now, you might be thinking, what could be worse than secret rooms and shady parties? Well, honey, let me introduce you to the island's real moneymaker, a surveillance system. That'd make the CIA jealous. The streets are saying these cameras caught enough dirt to bury Hollywood 10 times over. But the real question is, where'd all that footage go? Let's talk about these cameras, cause they weren't just there to keep an eye on the palm trees. You know how celebs are always crying about privacy? Well, seems like on this island, privacy was the last thing on anyone's mind. The FBI found cameras everywhere, and I mean everywhere. Bedrooms, bathrooms, even by the pool. You couldn't scratch your nose without someone catching it on tape. But it ain't just about being creepy. These cameras caught all kinds of mess. We're talking A-list celebs doing things that'd make their publicists have a heart attack. The kind of stuff that'd have them trending for all the wrong reasons. You ever seen a star's career go up in flames? Well, what's on these tapes could start a whole forest fire. And it's not just celebs getting caught with their pants down, sometimes literally. The tea is, there's footage of politicians making deals that ain't exactly kosher, billionaires acting like they're above the law, even some royals getting down and dirty in ways that'd make the queen clutch her pearls.
They want to know who was in and out of Diddy's planes and his homes.
Savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get! Whatever I want, I have to get!
Right. I'm guessing that all of that came from the pink stuff.
While he was cozying up to Hollywood figures like Harvey Weinstein and the Democratic Party, with his vote or die campaigns for Kerry, Barack, Hillary, Biden, getting souls to the polls. For 2 decades, Diddy thought he was untouchable. But now he's had his house raided, tapes confiscated, and the feds are zeroing in on his flight record, fly in prison.
But here's where it gets real juicy. Some of these tapes, they're gone, vanished, poof, like they never existed. The FBI's tearing their hair out trying to find him, and everyone's wondering who's got those tapes and what's on M that's so bad someone had to make M disappear. You gotta wonder who's sweating bullets right now, cause whoever's got those tapes. They're sitting on a gold mine of blackmail material. We're talking career ending, marriage ruining, reputation destroying stuff, the kind of secrets that could bring down governments or tank the stock market. So now everyone's playing detective. Was it Diddy himself trying to protect his friends? Or maybe some of those VIP guests got sticky fingers on their way out? Could be someone on the inside looking to cash in big time. Or what if it's even bigger than that? Girl, the possibilities are making my head spin. And you know what's got everyone really shook? The idea that there might be copies out there. Cause in this digital age, nothing ever really disappears. Those tapes could pop up anywhere, anytime. Can you imagine waking up one day and seeing your dirtiest secrets all over the internet? That's the nightmare these celebs are living right now. But if you think this camera drama is bad, just wait. caused this whole mess, it's just the tip of the iceberg. The FBI's digging deeper, and what they're finding is gonna shake Hollywood to its core. So grab your popcorn and settle in, cause this show is far from over.
I tell you what, Puffy, your life is in danger.
A CIA undercover agent has decided to blow the whistle on some serious secrets. Now, the agent reveals shocking details about Diddy and Jay-Z's hidden activities. Wink, wink.
What you got to say now?
What is that?
What you got to say now? You ain't got to say.
Bro, is this another video of Diddy and Cassie? Bro, why is she hiding? Well, I understand why she would be hiding based off the video we saw at the hotel, guys, right? But,
When you put your girl on the snap.
Now, according to this agent, Diddy and Jay-Z been leveraging their influence and wealth for some very dark purposes.
Okay.
From grooming minors, trafficking, to abuse, you name it.
Buddy.
Do you think the feds took notice of that? And they, you know, at this point, they like, yo, we're going to crack down on Diddy?
What happens is that the police will bring in a CI and will use him like she was a $3 hoe.
Oh.
That's a confidential informant.
Sir.
They'll let you do crimes as long as you don't do no and stuff like that.
Right.
They'll let you go around and pay you. When I was in law enforcement, dog, they paid confidential informants $250 for revolvers, $500 for automatic weapons, $750 to $1,500
right.
for semi-automatic guns and rifles and machine guns and stuff like that.
Right.
Some confidential informants got payment like that. And plus, they get 8% of a case.
8% of a case?
8% of a case.
What does that mean?
So if they bring in about, just say, they bring in a case $100,000.
Okay.
That's 8,000. What's that?
$8,000.
$8,000.
Right.
That's 8,000. They bring in $1 million case.
Right.
$1 million case. That person is getting $80,000. I mean, like $80,000 on it. I think it's if you're talking about 8%.
Right. Right. It's 80.
You know what I mean? So I'm saying that to say this: confidential informants get paid good.
Right.
But Puff was a millionaire. Him being a confidential informant, him getting money like that, it was favors. He been getting favors and been paying law enforcement people for years.
And those favors were obviously, hey, turn the other way as you see all my debaucherous activity. Please. All right.
To protect him.
Right.
You understand? To protect him. We had a lot of people on the payroll when we was doing security. Everybody had, somebody might have this first 10 hours, that 10 hours, or whatever. He was paying law enforcement. He had a budget for law enforcement. Right. Now, if something goes wrong, those people got friends in certain places. Then plus he tells his handler, yo, can you make this go away for me?
Oh my God.
I'll give you this and that. Now,
so let me guess, the money dried up and it's the reason why now everyone is coming at him.
Now, that could be a lot of speculations or whatever like that. But why would you have or be working for a FBI agent if you're not an informant? Why? So,
I mean,
when you got that kind of money, you could hire people to make a lot of things go away for you. Like you hire lawyers. Those lawyers have police officers and people working for them. And investigators. Those investigators were former officers. So all of them in the backyard in Diddy bed together.
Man, like, so many questions.
Bro.
Like, Gene, How did you know those prices like that, bro? How did you know those? You name them prices like boom and boom, and I'm like off the.
I mean, he knows it because it obviously is real, right? The reason why he said he was an ex-cop. He knows how much people were being paid generally, right? And yeah, you cannot sway Diddy with $1,700. You can't move him for that or less. And keep in mind, that was the most amount of money that he mentioned, right? He's a millionaire, a billionaire now, guys, right? You can't move him. So yeah, you're going to have to do something for him if you want some type of information from him for something, right? Like there's always been, some type of hip hop police out there, guys, that look through all of the lyrics in, a lot of these rappers' songs. And a lot of the times this is the reason why these people are getting arrested, right? Because they're singing about absolute crazy things that just so happen to be happening exactly how they're singing it, Bobby Shmurda, right? You get what I'm saying here?
Back of the head, like,
yeah, those favors.
How you know them prices, man? And then, like, Gene, like, how long you been knowing P. Diddy been working for the feds? That's what I really want to know. And if you know that, what that make you, man? Because you know the prices and everything, bro. Like, I'm confused at this point.
You shouldn't be. Like, he explained it all.
My biggest question is, like, why now? Why wait this long to now start saying something when all this stuff is going on? Like,
clout?
That shit is confusing, y'all. I am confused. I am beyond confused. This man is literally saying P. Diddy been working with the feds.
Right.
Yeah, he been an informant or working with the feds. Like, what the heck? And all this stuff that P. Diddy been doing, they been knowing about. So, like, this is just blowing, like, speculations and minds, like, man, out the water. Because if that's the truth, man, let's say the government is behind all this stuff. And that makes sense because then all this Biden flying in and busting in illegal migrants and all this type of stuff going on.
Well, the migrants are catching strays in this video, but I feel it.
Brady Jew down there in Miami, he said that the federal, policy about the federal government, might be doing human trafficking, and they got a investigation on them as well. So, like, y'all, man, it's in y'all face right here, bro. So y'all let me know what's going on with all this stuff, because at this point I'm confused.
You shouldn't be.
I'm confused, man.
Like, you shouldn't be. Open your eyes, your third eye, if anything, right? Like, pay attention to what's actually happening here. No confusion should actually be, in your brain currently. He just explained exactly why he knows, and how he knows, and what does that make him? It makes him an ex-cop, right? I mean, a lot of these celebrities do hire ex-cops or cops that are off duty, right? So those are their security guards. They're the best trained, the easiest to kind of catch, if that makes any sense. Not everything has to be, like underhanded or slimy. They're just picking up a cop that, would like to have some extra hours, right? Take care of their family. And that's how a lot of this is happening. Of course, they know exactly what it is, right? You can kind of see how he moves. He probably didn't keep this too much of a secret within his inner circle, to be honest, guys. Right? No need for confusion, though.
I don't know what's going on with this Gene, just saying this stuff, because it's making a lot of sense. And, like, why is he saying it and exposing it now? This is my questions, 100% my main questions. But hey, man, keep doing it, man. Yeah, we did it all, man. Let us know all the information, because if y'all was hanging out with Diddy, either y'all didn't know he was working with the feds and he was an informant, or y'all police too. So, like, listen, y'all better be careful and start doing y'all research.
Now, these revelations ain't nothing short of shocking. Now, the agent describes how both Diddy and Jay-Z have been using their status to influence artists into engaging in inappropriate activities and accepting unfair contracts. Now, this just ain't about the music industry, man. This goes deeper. Giggity.
What? Bro, copyright. No.
Very disturbing to think about the level of manipulation and exploitation that's being described here. The agent also mentioned that despite these serious allegations, Diddy is still safe from getting arrested. Now, we don't know what the feds are planning for him or Jay-Z. Now, it was earlier revealed that both of them might have worked with the feds, which would explain a lot of things.
So now we have two people come out saying that Diddy was talking to the feds. Do you think that's true?
Whether it's true or not, and he might have been cooperative in some way, shape, or form, you don't get away with human trafficking unless you give up John Gotti or something like that, and that's not what happened here. I can tell you, Jesse, that this investigation's been going on for a long time, very closely held by HSI, so much so that even some of the agents on the raid a week ago today didn't know whose house they were raiding until they got there. That's how closely held this investigation.
Wow, because there could have been a...
So then that for the most part, that says everything you need to know, right? Was Diddy some type of informant to the government? Most likely, right? Because if they have to hide it to that level within the government, where you don't even know whose house you're going at, right? Imagine that for a second. Then that means that they were scared that the information could leak to another department or agency, right? Because that means that Diddy was in fact associated with another agency. They know that. It's not new information to the government. If it was, then everyone would have known. It would have been public-private information, basically, to everyone in the government. But they were scared to death, basically, of releasing this information to anyone, because they knew it would somehow get back to most likely one of his handlers. All right.
A tip.
Absolutely.
And there are allegations that he was paying law enforcement through his chief of security, which also happened to be Michael Jackson's chief of security.
I don't know if I buy into that. You know, people in Diddy's situation like to have those involved in law enforcement close to them. But that doesn't mean they're taking payoffs. That doesn't mean they're doing big
That's
favors.
the reality.
They like that closeness. It's just like how Diddy was able to court Diageo or Estee Lauder. He was very successful in doing that, and that made him a lot of money and gave him credibility outside the hip-hop rap world. And that's what he was trying to do here, a lot like what Epstein did with very powerful political and business figures.
And if you look at this report in the New York Post, you see it's a constellation of billionaires he's involved with.
Very similar to what Epstein was doing. And, you know, these guys get drunk with power, allegedly. You know, Diddy has said that these allegations are false, but they get drunk with power, and all of a sudden they lose their balance and what's right and what's wrong. And they're insulated, and they've got everybody telling them they're great. And all of a sudden, these civil suits come out. And the feds watch this. That's what happened with R. Kelly. It started with civil suits. Then HSI got involved. And they're the lead agency for human trafficking.
These civil suits are just like a silver platter for the feds.
Very helpful. Very helpful.
Take these guys down. All right, well, we'll see how this plays out. Chris Hansen, Takedown with Chris Hansen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jesse.
What's crazy is this is, I think, kind of new, right? I mean, for the most part, a lot of these people are being involved with the concept of like moving humans from one place to another. Generally, is how that kind of works, or doing things illicitly with humans and kind of, you know, against their will, let's say. Right? I can't really use a specific terminology, but either way, it used to be taxes. Right? Like all of the big guys were always taken down by taxes, and now it's just like they don't care about that too much. Well, they do care, obviously, but not to that same extent, right? Let you move a human from one place to another, like through traffic, right? Then that's crazy, right? They're coming after you immediately, right? That's how it seems like everyone is getting taken down now.
You thought the camera drama was juicy? Hold on to your wig, cause we're about to spill the real tea. Remember all those A-listers living it up on that island? Well, turns out their vacay funds weren't exactly coming from their day jobs. The FBI's been following a money trail so twisted it makes your grandma's soap operas look boring. Let's talk cash, honey. Cause on this island, money was flowing like water at Niagara Falls. You think a celeb getaway is all about fancy parties and designer swimsuits, right? But the FBI, they saw dollar signs everywhere they looked. And girl, when they started digging into those bank statements, it was like opening Pandora's box of financial mess. We're talking millions upon millions, honey, the kind of money that'd make your eyes pop out like a cartoon character. But here's the kicker, it ain't just about buying champagne and gold-plated jet skis. No, this money was going to some real shady places. The streets are saying there's offshore accounts hidden deeper than Mariana Trench, shell companies with names so fake they sound like they came from a bad spy movie, and financial tricks that make Bernie Madoff look like an amateur.